It's 10 o'clock, and this is Fox 10 Talks. We're following up on some disappointment yesterday when the word came out that there was no match in the CODIS system, a database of more than 19 million people, after they sent the DNA from the glove off for testing. But now the question is a new approach to some of the DNA forensics, and can this one work this time around? We are going to be talking with a forensics expert in just a few minutes to try to get you the very latest on that. So this is Fox 10 Talks. I'm Ron Hoon. Syleste Rodriguez is going to pop in to our studio here, our streaming studio, in just the next few minutes. If you've just come across us, we welcome you to the friendliest chat online. Be sure to say hi and tell us where you're watching from today, especially if you are a first-timer. Our poll question looks like this. We just got word today that President Trump's approval rating on immigration has hit a new low. Is it time to stop those raids? 20% say, yeah, look at the trouble they've caused. 71% say no. Angry protesters or not, ICE is just doing its job. And then there's a third option getting almost 10%. The problem is local police not cooperating with ICE. That's got to change. So you can join that conversation as well. But, of course, plenty of talk about Sheriff Chris Nanos sitting down, doing multiple interviews yesterday with where things stand on the investigation, especially with the disappointing news that there was no DNA match when they sent that glove off for lab testing. And our Justin Lum got a chance to talk with the sheriff, and here's some of what he said.
They asked me, do I have proof of life? I asked them, is there proof of death? I'm going to have that faith. And sometimes that faith, that hope, is all we have. My team, 400 people out there in the field today, woke up this morning and went out there with the hope and the belief that they're going to find Nancy, and she's going to be okay.
What's next? Do you go the genetic genealogy route?
Well, absolutely, you do that, but we have other DNA evidence from the scene that is more critical to me than something found 2 miles away. All of that, though, will still be submitted for further analysis. That's okay. You take a fingerprint and you hope to match it right away, but that's not that easy. You have to have so many points of characteristics that match on that fingerprint. DNA is no different. You have to have the DNA, have to have so many hits of lodi to make a comparative match. All of those things, sometimes DNA is mixed. We have DNA from that scene that is a mixture of DNAs. So we have to separate, hope the lab can do that, and still preserve some of that evidence in case the defense wants to test it, should we make an arrest. All of those things are considered. It is truly a complex process in gathering that evidence, submitting it, analyzing it, and then resubmitting it. So yes, you're correct. Yeah. The next step of DNA for those pieces would be to submit for genealogy.
All right, and we're going to be talking about that extensively in the next few minutes. But boy, we've got, as our Fox 10 team, we've got this covered from every angle. Justin with the sheriff yesterday, and Irene Snyder has been reporting for us from Tucson basically nearly every day for the last 2 weeks plus. We're going to go to her right now, as a matter of fact. Irene, what was the latest in terms of, I know you're driving back from Tucson as we speak. What was your takeaway from today's reporting?
Really, I mean, Ron, there are a lot of questions today, really more than answers. We were in front of Nancy Guthrie's home all morning today. All media were out there. The sheriff's officer was still in front of the house, as that officer has been there for the past several weeks now at this point. And really the new thing that we got was that there was another investigation, a follow-up investigation that is at the house yesterday, and they're continuing on that investigation. As far as we know this morning, too, we haven't gotten some of the results from that. So we took a listen from Justin's interview with the sheriff a little bit. You had that earlier on in the show. And really the question now is, what are we going to do with that DNA evidence? They had DNA evidence from the glove from about 2 miles away. Justin had kind of tracked where that was. Didn't have any kind of match right now, but then the house is where they had that follow-up investigation yesterday. So, we have a lot of questions. They didn't clarify what that investigation follow-up really included. Why were they doing another sweep of the house? What exactly were they looking for?
Yeah, Irene's signal is going in and out. Well, they're on the 10, which is just a disaster. It's 2 lanes between Casa Grande and Phoenix, and you get next to a semi-truck and you can lose that signal altogether. But I think we've got you back now, Irene. What was the other thing you were trying to say?
I'm not sure where I cut off there, Ron, but I mean, the fact that they're doing a follow-up investigation there at Nancy Guthrie's home in the Catalina foothills, we don't know why exactly that was, what the scope of it was. They weren't able to clarify the nature of that follow-up for us, but I think that's a big thing to look into, because he mentioned yesterday, the sheriff mentioned to Justin Lum yesterday, the fact that there's still more DNA they want to look through at the crime scene. So maybe that was a part of it. We don't know. But really, we're just trying to hold out hope, and a lot of people in the neighborhood praying, continuing to put out flowers, hoping that she is, alive and will be able to be returned safely. They've put out their tip line asking any people who live in the area, anyone with information. I think they've gotten over 50,000 or so tips that they've had so far, and more may have even come in since then. So, people are paying attention to this story, and hopefully some of those tips will lead to some more results.
Great reporting from our Irene Snyder, just coming back from another day working all the various leads there in Tucson. Syleste joins us well. And Syleste, we have Deborah Stonebarger joining us now, and I think the timing on this interview just could not be better.
Yeah.
What with now there's a new focus. All right, so we had the disappointing news yesterday that there was no DNA match in the CODIS system.
Yeah.
But they do have the ability now to do the genetic genealogy investigative work on this DNA, which, by the way, was really how they cracked the Brian Kohberger case, that horrible story out of the University of Idaho, the students there. So I think maybe now would be a good time to bring Deborah on.
I think you're right. Deborah Stonebarger, forensic science expert. Deborah, thank you for your time. We've heard time and time again that it could be technology or some of the detective work when it comes to DNA that could in fact help solve this case. What are your thoughts on where detectives, what they're looking for now and maybe where they go from here?
I think you're correct about that. The detectives and the investigations finding the evidence, or the crime scene specialists, that is a key point if DNA is going to be helpful in this matter. Right now, that's not a guarantee because we don't know the quantity or quality of the DNA that has been collected. We do understand that the DNA recovered from inside the glove that may or may not have been related to the crime scene. We do know that that did not hit against CODIS. However, it can be compared to other samples as those come up. The genealogy is another area that you guys have touched on, as well as we still don't know what's happening with the DNA samples from inside Miss Guthrie's home.
All right, so let's talk a little bit more about the genetic genealogy. We know you're a forensics expert, and that's a big part of why we wanted to have you on today. How does that work exactly? How has it worked in other high-profile cases, and what will be the method they will follow in this case?
If they have the correct types of samples, any DNA, regardless of whether you're using genealogical methods or familial searches or CODIS searches, do need a reference to compare to. But what can happen with genealogy or genealogical DNA is that more databases can be searched, voluntary databases can be used by law enforcement. So what can happen is, even though where CODIS, someone has to have committed a crime to be in that particular database, that's not the case with family and voluntary genealogical DNA databases. So in this case, what can happen is they can compare that type, looking for people with similar DNA profiles or some characteristics matching at some loci, and then they can develop profiles related to possible relatives of someone who might have left DNA at the home.
How far removed do you have to be in a case like that? So here we got the doorbell ring video cam. Disappointing that who knows, maybe somebody already did step forward and say, I know who this guy is, and maybe they're developing that lead. But literally, so whoever this guy is, he's not in the CODIS system. We don't even know if he's from the United States or perhaps if he's from another country. That's one thing we've got to look at.
That is very true.
If whoever it is, if it was even like a great uncle or, somebody two generations or two steps removed from the family, are they able to even kind of glom onto that and develop their lead?
Yes. If they've got DNA from someone who committed this crime, that's a big if. However, yes, even several generations removed, even it doesn't have to be like fully patrilineal from the father or matrilineal from the mother, meaning grandfather or grandmother. It can be siblings, it can be uncles and cousins that can eventually lead to a profile. Basically, if they can identify people who might be related to the perpetrator of this crime, however distantly, at least within a few generations, if not more, then what can happen with that is that generates new leads of people who might be related to the profile that they were checking. Once they find those relatives, then they can go and whether or not they have relatives in that same database, the ones that are present can be interviewed, and then you can look into their existing relatives and collect reference samples that way. And then you'll have, hopefully, a reference DNA sample that can be compared to a DNA sample that was collected from the crime scene. But that is a big if. There has to be meaningful DNA that was collected from the crime scene. Just because there's DNA there that's foreign to anyone living there or friends or family, that does not mean it's the perpetrators who left their DNA behind.
So, Deborah, we have just one quick minute here in 30 seconds, if you can tell me. We have a question from Darren Lloyd in our chat on YouTube. His question is there a worldwide database that exists for DNA?
About 30 seconds left.
Not as of yet, no.
Okay. So it could be helpful if this is a U.S., well, I mean, it's beyond... the database is a U.S. database.
It is.
CODIS. But if people, whether they did 23andMe or whatever, if they even did it in France, they could connect to this case, right?
Hopefully.
And interagency comparison as well could help with that.
Okay. Deborah, always interesting. We really learn a lot when you're our guest. We appreciate you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Deborah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Do we do mystery camera right now? Let's do it. Let's go ahead and pop it up for all of you.
Syleste, I love your keeping us right on track. Yeah, it's good. Look at that dreamy shot.
Oh, my goodness. We'll be right back. It's our mystery camera.
We do welcome you back. There's one breaking story coming in just in the last couple of minutes, Celeste, out of Tucson, regarding something else that the sheriff there has decided to share.
So the sheriff is now sharing that they believe they were able to see from that video, the doorbell camera video. Here it is right here, that on the right hand, right there, they believe they can kind of see that there is a pinky ring on the right hand.
Okay, there is a crease right there.
Yeah. So they're saying, hey, if you know anyone with a pinky ring, who maybe fits the description they gave us, possible height, possible foot size, anybody who you think this could be. Here's another look at it right here after he goes to grab some of those bushes, the plants out front, but that's, I believe, the left hand. But it's on the right hand and on the pinky, a pinky ring on the right hand. That's the newest information, just came in moments ago here from the sheriff.
Okay, so anytime, as we have said all along, anytime there are any breaking angles to this story, who knows, maybe that'll be what cracks the case. We did get a story yesterday that they were working with Walmart and all the Walmarts in the area to, go through, this would be so painstaking, the amount of hours involved, but to look through all the purchases of the particular backpack that was only sold at Walmart. Now, whether the guy lives in the Tucson area or came in from another part of the U.S. or Mexico or Canada or whatever, I mean, he certainly could have purchased it outside of Tucson. So let's get back to the mystery cam, Celeste. Did we get a few guesses? Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
We got a Jersey from Troy.
Nice.
Maryland or Connecticut from Donovan.
Okay.
Maryland or Connecticut from Darla, but Donovan, who's hanging with Darla,
of course,
says
Donovan.
Oregon.
Okay.
Ohio from two people, Linda Monterth and B. Miguel. Ron, what are you going to go with?
Well, I'm with Burger Boys. He's kind of hedging his bet, saying USA. So in a case like Dave, what are you laughing about over there? He's probably right.
Really good guess.
Yeah, it's probably totally accurate.
And I mean, if your name's Burger Boys, you're pretty.
Yeah, you're the crowd I want to hang with, buddy.
I think so.
Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure. I guess I'm gonna go. Let's take one last look at it here. I guess I'm gonna go. I think I'll go like Bay Area. I'll go California.
Oh, okay.
Okay. How about you?
Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with like let's see, where else? Like a Missouri or something?
All right, here comes the answer.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say this answer and I didn't.
Oh, no. Celeste, what's going on? Do you have new nails on today? What's happening?
I actually do have new nails.
Are these brand new nails?
Ron, do you see the little heart on there?
Wait.
Oh.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, you see the hearts.
Okay. Oh, 2 little hearts for Valentine's. All right, here we go.
Oxon Hill, Maryland.
Nice. There's the shot again. Okay, and that is our mystery cam.
So way to go, Darla.
Hey, we have such a great relationship with a handful of our sister stations within the Fox family.
Yes.
And one of those is KTVU. They're our sister station over in the Bay Area. James Torrez joins us now. I'm going to bring him in right here. James, what's the latest that you've learned in terms of the desperate search for any survivors who were buried alive in that avalanche?
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard plenty about it. Good morning to the both of you. This is a situation that is very much still developing, but not really too many new details from what we've learned from last night. We expect some of those details to come out during a news conference with the Nevada County Sheriff's Office. That's set to start in about 2 hours from now. But here's what we know so far. There was an avalanche that happened yesterday afternoon. There were warnings that were put out for that in the back country of Castle Peak. It's an area near Truckee. You may know it better as an area of Lake Tahoe. What they later found out was there was this school of, really not so much a school, or really a group, I should say, of skiers, a number of clients and 4 ski guides. 4 guides, 11 clients, all doing this skiing kind of camping trip together, a 3-day trip. Remember, this past weekend was the President's Day holiday. They went out into the backwoods of this area where there really wasn't too much snow going on over the weekend. Then we had that big storm come in Sunday night into Monday morning, Monday afternoon. That group was heading back to their camp Monday afternoon when that avalanche hit just before noon. And then it took some of these search crews hours to find them because they were going through this really rough terrain, going through this area that got hit hard with inches of feet, I should say, of snow, and in an area that isn't really well maintained by a lot of these ski resorts because it's in the backcountry of the mountain. So it took these snowmobiles, these search dogs, these rescue teams hours to find 6 survivors, 2 of which they ended up flying to a hospital nearby to get some treatment there. So now the search is on for the 9 remaining people. No real word on exactly where they may be, no real word on their conditions, of course. We do know that they are wearing these avalanche beacons, essentially these little radios that if you're in some sort of emergency situation, you flip a switch and it gives out this signal. Not much of an update on where they stand with trying to pick that signal up. But all of that we expect to hear more in detail from the Nevada County Sheriff's Office against a news conference that's set to start in about 2 hours from now.
You know, backcountry, not easy, not safe. And probably not safe for a lot of these sheriff's deputies, right, that are out there as well. I mean, I know they train for this, but what's the mindset they have going into this rescue?
Yeah, it's certainly tough because, again, keep in mind we had that storm that not only came in Monday morning but carried into Monday night, into Tuesday morning as well. So today, right now, this moment is really the only real break we've had from some of these storms. I will mention that the group that was leading this tour, this kind of camping trip, Blackbird Mountain Guides, they've put out a number of statements since then. Remember, it was 4 of their guides and 11 of their clients. If you're doing any backcountry skiing, you're technically considered a pretty well skied, maybe even expert might be a reasonable word to throw around, but certainly you're an experienced skier if you're doing these kind of trips, especially if you're with these kind of guides. This same guide, the same school and organization also does avalanche training, so they must have gone through something like that in preparation for the worst kind of case scenario. Of course, the search crews, they have their equipment, they have their snowmobiles, they're doing what they can to try to get the resolution of the story to be as best as it can be, but they've said themselves it's in a rough terrain, it's in a tough area, and it's also in the middle of a really bad storm, so you can imagine the challenges that lie ahead of them as they continue to hope to find survivors.
All right, James, thanks very much for your reporting on this.
Wow.
We'll stand by for that news conference, as he mentioned, noon our time, sometime between probably 12 and 12:30. James, thank you.
Yeah, our thoughts and prayers are out to the families. We hope they find them.
Yeah, we are going to invite Krystal into just one question about that, Krystal. What kind of snow totals were they talking about up in that area?
Where the avalanche was?
Yeah.
You know what? I've been so focused on our weather here, guys, that I have not been tracking that one too closely.
I thought I heard something like 3 feet. Would that even be possible?
Yeah.
Out of one storm system?
Yeah, I mean, if you remember, we had that system, what was it, in November, where up at its top of Snowball, we had almost 5 feet in just a few days.
Okay.
So it can happen.
I mean, it says 22.6 inches in the last 24 hours or something like that.
So,
yeah.
All right. Okay, so we're focused on what's happening here.
Yes, I've been in a zone over here, all the rain and snow.
We had you here yesterday, and it was like coming. And now, boy, it's really happening.
It really is.
Yeah, and it's really lined up very nice with what we were expecting, which was this morning timeline, and then it would kind of happen throughout the morning and start to move off this afternoon, and that's still what we're expecting. But the roads have definitely deteriorated as a fault of the system moving through. So if you want to pop up my graphics, we'll start with that.
There you go.
These are all different highways in the Flagstaff area, all of them snow-lined, and then snowy roads as well, although it looks like in some spots maybe the plows have gone through, and in other spots just the tires from cars have kind of edged their way in. But this is a shot from top left is the 17-year flag, top right is the 40, and then at the bottom we've got SR 89 as well as US 180. The bottom two are right in the downtown area, and it is snowy out there. That is for sure. We had our own Ashley Loaeza is out there, right? And she's very bundled up. It looks cold.
Well, she was like, at first, she was smiling this morning, Krystal, and I think she's like, I'm smiling, but I'm kind of a little
scared. She said, right?
because they had some crazy conditions just south of Flagstaff.
Yes, yeah, the roads just, as it started coming down, of course, that first stick is always the slippery kind of like little layer that builds.
Yeah.
And that's what they were driving over as they were getting in there right about 8 in the morning. This is a view from 303 and Grand Ave here in the valley because a couple of showers are starting to skirt along the edge of the 303.
Okay.
So remember, we have some shower chances in the valley, nothing to the extent of what they're seeing up in the high country, but a couple rain showers will be possible today for us. And then this is the East Flagstaff camera. Two things to note. A, you can see the flakes floating about. Usually you can see the San Francisco peaks in the shot, but the snow's coming down too heartily, so you do not see them. The visibility is obscured in the distance. And then also that camera's wobbling around. It is so windy in the high country.
Look at those numbers.
What I'm most concerned about is an area that's not even getting really any wintry precip yet, which is Springerville, because since early this morning, they've had gusts over 60 miles per hour, and right now the gusts are at 70. If you have wind gusts for this many hours straight at that level, some stuff's going down, like some tree branches, like a power line, anything like that can snap for sure. So I'm a little worried we're going to end up hearing some damage reports out in Springerville. If you're from that area, let us know how it's going.
By the way, here's a shot from downtown Flags.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about it. It is sticking and it's still coming down.
Isn't that great?
It looks so good.
Oh, my goodness. I would be popping in that coffee shop right there.
A little bit of rain snow mix, guys, in parts of Mojave County outside of Kingman. Then we head on over to Flagstaff, where that snow is still just going along. It's going to continue here for at least a couple more hours, and then it's a bit steadier as it heads over the parts of the Mogollon Rim, just outside of Sedona, where it turns to rain, just outside of Payson, where it is rain. But Pine Strawberry is getting some accumulating snow right now. And then a little bit of a mix has been moving through parts of Yavapai as well, Yavapai County. Prescott, we've been watching the camera, and we've been seeing snowflakes, but then they're melting as they hit the ground because it's above freezing there. It's in the upper 30s right now.
I know. As we look at the map, I was looking at Payson right there.
Yes,
I know I'm being a little bit nerdish. Can you go back to Payson?
Sure.
But it literally looks like that snow is starting just about way before you hit Pine, right after you leave the Home Depot.
Yep.
In Payson.
Yep, it's right there. You're right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so just a tiny bit of elevation difference making all the difference in terms of rain or snow right now. Yeah. And it's a pretty good snow that's hitting the rim there. And then, like I said, we have just those showers skirting the edge of the valley, so just up against the 303. And that's where, especially as I've been mentioning, the north and then eventually the east part of the valley will have the best shot at a few showers later this morning and into this afternoon. So there's the future cast for folks watching. Around midday, still snowing in Flagstaff down the rim and rain in parts of Yavapai County. Those showers starting to pull out of the valley by around 3 or 4. And then the snow runs down the rim, and it's just some scattered snow showers into eastern parts of the state, the White Mountains, as we head into this evening. But otherwise, guys, this system is out, and our next system will be in. In terms of snow totals, when everything's said and done today, 5 to 9 is possible for parts of the Flagstaff area, up to an inch for Prescott, and then you can see that number is considerably lower as you head farther east.
And look at sunrise.
Like 2 to 5.
It's like perfectly positioned right there. Huh?
Yeah, they'll get a little bit as this is moving out, but it does weaken as it moves off to the east. Okay. Already, we're watching another system, though, on Thursday night, so tomorrow night into Friday morning. Wow. So additional, and it could be another nice dose of snow, like several inches to maybe even half a foot in a few spots.
Do you have to put in for extra pay on a week like this?
Oh, can you talk to management about that for me?
I know those people.
Please.
Yeah,
you know a guy?
If that's the case, maybe Friday's the day to head up the hill.
Okay.
Thank you, Krystal.
Thanks, guys.
Right. Welcome back, everyone. You are looking live at Flagstaff, Arizona, and it has been a day of weather around our higher elevations. And here in the valley, it was beautiful yesterday. Hopefully you were able to open up your windows and doors and enjoy some of that sunshine with the cool weather. We have some great comments here. If you're watching on television, by the way, go to YouTube, look up Fox 10 Phoenix, and go to live, and then join the chat. We'd love to hear where you're watching from, and then you can chat with us on YouTube while you watch on TV or on our app. So Shaylin81 says, I am in Eager right now next to Springerville. I definitely believe that we are getting 70-mile-per-hour gusts. It is bad here. There is so much dust in the air.
Oh, yeah, right? Because you get the snow up in the mountains, but not necessarily there in the Round Valley.
Yes.
So, yeah, that could cause a problem.
And then listen to Jenna Purr. Okay. Yep, wind gusts are starting, and AJ just watched her lawn chair flip over.
Oh, no. And Shaylin just added, my neighbor's shade tarp is in shreds.
Oh,
it's
wow.
the very thing that just a few minutes ago Krystal was saying is going to be happening there.
Well, maybe you can, if you take photos, if you have any weather photos, you can actually send them to us at Fox10Talks at fox.com, and we can use them on the air.
Yes.
Or maybe, give us a ring at our viewer voicemail, and you can tell us what kind of crazy weather you're experiencing there and what you love about it.
Yes,
so,
for sure.
Or not
or
so
what you
much.
hate about it.
Not so much.
On the viewer voicemail, that's for sure. All right, so the protests seem to be kind of ramping up in Scottsdale, Celeste. We've been following it for you, and it all has to do with that controversial purchase by the federal government for a warehouse.
In Surprise,
connected apparently to ICE. And here's what some of the protesters, although it's interesting, in Surprise, some people were even speaking in favor of it. So here we go.
Support them. I support our fellow law enforcement that are willing to take up that armor as well.
But there have been so many towns across the USA that have successfully kept ICE prisons out of their town that I'm hoping that Surprise can do the same thing.
Law enforcement agents are removing criminals from our neighborhoods. It is much safer for me, my family, and my neighbors if those criminals are detained securely as they await deportation.
We are talking about bringing a national flashpoint into our neighborhoods, right next to our families.
Okay, so a lot of varied opinions there. We're showing you the warehouse in question. City leaders saying they were not aware of the purchase ahead of time. So opponents were voicing concerns because it is fairly close to some neighborhoods and a school, apparently. And the mayor says any kind of ordinance they pass would not override the federal government and what they are planning for the building. So it's so interesting because the whole issue of immigration was almost like his highest rated issue when President Donald Trump came into office. His favorability numbers were well above 50% when he promised to crack down on the border. But because of the violence, I think that we saw in Minneapolis, a lot of people have changed their opinions, Celeste. So here's what the question looks like today on the poll, just changing a little bit. 19% saying, I think it's time to stop the raids. Look at all the trouble. 74% say no. Whether they're angry protesters out there or not, which we did see in the Twin Cities, ICE is just doing its job. 7% the problem is local police not cooperating with ICE. That needs to change.
We have a huge number of votes on this, Ron, on YouTube. So more than 2.1 thousand in just the last hour. So this is really, heating up here online. And this is on our YouTube format here. And so, yes, look at all the trouble they've caused. 50% voting there. No, angry protesters are not. ICE is just doing its job. 38%. And the problem is local police not cooperating with ICE. That is 13% at this hour. So we've got big numbers.
And we got Big D. Big D. He's ready with your comments.
That's right. You can comment on fox10phoenix.com/poll as well as on our YouTube page. And 6580 says Obama deported millions of illegal immigrants without the chaos, drama, killings, illegally detained American citizens, and raids. Fred Wang, 6354, says you should modify ICE raids in that ICE officers should be seconded by state and local law enforcement to keep the order and to avoid unnecessary confrontation by the public. RRR New York 6CK says we need reform, especially for the immigrants that have been here for decades with no criminal record. And finally, RJ Cisco 6056 says abolish ICE, pass the immigration bill sponsored by Republican Langford, start a new agency agency that enforces immigration law while following the law and Constitution, and hold accountable all the agents who have broken the law. Anything else will only exacerbate the horrible situation we're in. We love hearing from you guys on all sides. Keep the comments coming.
Dave, can I just add excellent pronunciation of the word exacerbate?
Exacerbate.
I messed it up first.
That's one of those words with way too many syllables.
Exacerbate. You just have to open up your mouth and practice.
Yeah,
Exacerbate.
Hey, how about this for our regular everyday viewing audience? Ladies and gentlemen, Isabella joins us.
Hi.
This is our bit of Bella that we need every single day, Ron.
A little
Thank
bit
you.
of Bella.
Thank you.
Okay. So
Thank
you've
you.
been looking into this horrific story of the mass
Yes.
shooting at a hockey rink, of all
Yeah.
things. And we're starting to learn more about the suspect in this case as well.
Yes. You know, it's a very devastating story. It comes out of Rhode Island, happening on Monday, and there was a deadly shooting, mass shooting, you said, Ron, happening at an ice rink in Rhode Island. So police have identified the suspect as born by the name of Robert Dorgan, but Robert did identify as a transgender woman who also went by the name Roberta. So police say that it was a domestic family dispute, and Roberta Dorgan is accused of opening fire inside of that ice rink during a hockey game. And 2 victims came out of it. It was the adult son, Dorgan's adult son, as well as his ex-wife.
They were both killed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Before he turned the gun on himself, and he came to his injuries there.
I did, by the way, also heard an interview on Fox News Channel of the Good Samaritan who jumped in.
Yes.
I guess the gun jammed for
Well, you could see the Good Samaritan from behind him. I think, and kind of like it looked like he was holding him down or something. But it was a packed house.
It was. I mean, over 100 people witnessed the whole ordeal, and it was live streamed. But you mentioned the Good Samaritan. About 3 people, came in and kind of held the person down, the suspect down. But other family members were injured as well in the whole ordeal.
In fact, I heard that he purposely shot his in-laws. And that they are among those who are barely alive in the hospital.
Yes,
in critical
the
condition.
father-in-law. And it was over just, I think talks of they wanted him out of the home, maybe his journey with his current state. So yeah, a family dispute, and it just ended in tragedy.
Amazingly, her mother survived, and so Crank is now facing attempted second-degree murder charges. And then there was the other instance, law enforcement doing a good job in this case, and they have now an arrest made in the stabbing attack on a light rail. Alante Wallace is charged with going after another passenger on the light rail a few days ago. She's now facing a felony count of aggravated assault. Police say the woman attacked another woman on the train last Thursday. She had injuries all over her body after being stabbed at least a dozen times. So in both of these cases, it's like stab, stab, stab,
Oh,
stab.
my goodness.
And it's just really pretty shocking. But you know what detectives did, Celeste? They used facial recognition software to identify her from Valley Metro surveillance video. And so that just maybe kind of ties back into everything that we've been learning about the story coming in from Tucson.
Yeah.
And can there be more cameras? Can cities put more cameras out there? You know, at intersections or along roadways
Public
or whatever.
places.
Public places.
Yeah, because we need them.
Yeah.
We need them. And fortunately, technology helped in this case. You know, I know technology, people question artificial intelligence and the whole other thing, you know. But, you know, asking AI, Ron, it's one of the segments we have here.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, our robots are pretty friendly.
They are almost flirtatious. Celeste, your dude.
It does help in a lot of different cases.
Yeah, it really does. Okay, so, you know, there'll be, once they solve the case out of Tucson, whatever way it goes, I'm sure there's going to be an after-action plan moving forward that will help them have more resources in the future to solve crimes. Okay, so the next 15 minutes are really great. We're going to tell you the cheapest day of the week to fly now. It's going to surprise you. Plus, what about the cheapskate dad who bought a bunch of tickets on Southwest Airlines for his family but wouldn't pay for the seats, and so they're all over the plane? Now, is it his fault or is it Southwest's fault?
No, never Dad's fault.
Right now, we'll take a break.
All right, welcome back, everyone. You're looking live at Catalina. Beautiful day there. By the way, we have a goal each and every morning to have 20 likes on the YouTube video before noon hour. We already have 18, Ron. So who's going to be our 20th like?
Let's find out.
You know, maybe we should give them some sort of a little,
careful,
I don't
Celeste.
know, like a shout out?
Okay, that we can do. I'm like, where's our prize closet? There's so much construction going on here. I don't even know if we have a prize closet anymore, for goodness sakes.
All right, let's see. 19. We have 19 likes now. Come on. Who's going to be the 20th?
Be the next. And by the way, when we start, I'm not saying this is because of us completely.
No.
At least partially. When we started Fox 10 Talks,
yes,
I think we had 400,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yes.
For the whole Fox 10 Phoenix.
Correct.
I believe now we're well over 500,000. I think it's closing in on 550,000.
Wow.
Subscribers. Stand by. Here's your answer. Go ahead. What's that?
We have 544,000 subscribers.
Nice.
And gosh, we need more. So keep,
yeah, we do.
Friends.
The man you see on your screen is not going to be satisfied until we hit
1 billion.
Yeah. Well,
I
was going to go 7 figures, but Dave dreams big, right?
I was going to say 1 gazillion, Dave.
Yeah. Okay, good. For sure. Hey, we'll take every new person. We just get great feedback on it.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it.
Hey, by the way, so let me just pop up for you. Dean has
21 likes.
Oh, wow. 21. Do we know who they were?
We have 20 now. I think it might have. Okay, Darla said we have 20 now. Let us know. Chime in. Were you the 20th like on YouTube?
Yeah. Let us know. Linda out in Thatcher.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
We're giving you a big shout out, Linda. We love you. We love you.
By the way, Linda said that she has been over to the Round Valley before because it's not that far to get over to Springerville and Eager. And when they had some intense winds, and it's like pretty unbelievable. I actually, believe it or not, I did a windsurfing story.
Oh, wow.
On a lake that's north of Springerville. It's called Lyman Lake, and it's so popular with the windsurfers because this is known as kind of one of the windiest places in the entire Southwest.
Lyman Lake.
Lyman.
Oh, here it is. A reservoir in Arizona. It says, wow, that's beautiful.
What else does it say about it, Celeste?
It says Lyman Lake.
History.
It's a reservoir on the Little Colorado River located 17 miles north of Springerville.
Okay.
The largest lake in the region, Lyman Lake State Park, attracts anglers as well as campers and water skiers year-round.
Now, Renee's mom was related to a guy named Amasa Lyman, who was like 150 years ago. Does it say, was it who? Like, I wonder if it's like related to somebody in our family.
Oh,
maybe.
Wow. So are you trying to gain water rights?
Exactly, Celeste. Exactly. Anyway.
Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty cool. What's his name, Ron, again?
A park history right there.
Park history.
Amasa Lyman.
Amasa Lyman.
Let's see, find out who is.
Let's see. Apache County, St. John's, Springerville. It's about 6,000 feet, close to the White Mountains. Director Dennis McCarthy reported to the board.
Yes.
A meeting, James Shreve from Apache County. Let's see. Lyman Lake had been suggested as a potential state park.
That's all we know?
Let's see. Context in 1971.
Okay. We're never going to get the
There's
answer.
was he a Lyman Water Company guy?
I don't know.
It says maybe he was the water company guy.
Okay, fine. Anyway, we go down rabbit holes on this show that we severely regret. Okay, you're looking live.
We just want to give you the right info, Ron, right?
I know. Okay, so Dino lines up this great shot. It's all the way in downtown Tempe over by Tempe Town Lake. But our lenses are good. And we're looking at Sky Harbor Airport, and I love this shot, Celeste, because you always see the Southwest Airlines planes. We're going to talk about Southwest in about 1 minute. But Expedia came out with this Air Hacks report. I guess they do this once a year. And they are now saying that Friday, this shocks me, is the cheapest day to fly internationally.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
So travelers apparently can save up to 8% by flying on a Friday. And by the way, they say Sunday is the most expensive day. Understandable. Everybody's coming back from a little vacay. For domestic flights, Tuesday is still the cheapest day. It's 14% lower than trying a Friday or a Sunday, that kind of a thing.
Wow. So. What days do you usually travel, Ron, when you're international?
When I'm international,
You're an international fella.
It could be anywhere. But I will say when I'm flying to Seattle for Husky games, I mean, it's always a Friday and a Sunday, and then I go and I look at Tuesday and I'm like, why can't I fly on a Tuesday? It's like half the price.
I know.
Okay, so let's talk Southwest here because, Celeste, your story of the day today really got everybody going, and it involves Southwest, and, you know, their new system kind of makes them like all the other airlines.
Yes. So give us your thoughts in the chat. You see some of those tales from Southwest there, the planes on the tarmac. Hoping to go somewhere fun, right? Well, listen to this. A dad's post is going viral. He booked flights for he and his family, reveals that Southwest Airlines' new seating policy, as you know, you can now pick your seats. But on X, the dad said he refused to pay the extra to pick seats on a flight.
To maybe prove a point.
To prove a point.
A lot of people are opposed to it.
Right.
However, he's buying tickets for his family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
So is he going to, hang them out to dry? What's going on?
I don't know. Here's the thing. He has a 2-year-old child, and that 2-year-old child was placed in a different row that his sibling and mother were in. Okay. So he had hoped the airline would take age into consideration, move their seat to somewhere else, but they didn't. People did switch seats to help him out. Many commenters chimed in. But
so right out of the chute,
Yeah.
He knows that he's going to put pressure on other people in the plane.
Yeah.
And he's going to leave his wife and their 2 kids kind of at the mercy of other people on the plane.
Yeah.
I don't hear that the dad's even on it.
Yeah.
Right? He just bought tickets.
He just bought tickets. He's like, all right, let's hop on.
Okay.
You know, apparently that is the story. There could be more. Maybe the dad had other reasonings. I don't know. Maybe like he and his wife were in a fight and he's like, I don't want to sit next to you. I don't know.
I'm going to put you in row 32.
I'm going to put you next to the restroom.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of the commenters, they took the airline's side.
This is so weird, but I'm taking the airline side on this one, too. Now, we do have our viewer voicemail. We would love to know. It's 602-262-0428.
Yes.
Was the dad right to do this? Now, speaking as a dad, I say, number one thing you got to do, even if you're a cheapskate, and Celeste, you don't even know this about me, but I'm a little tight with the dollar.
I don't.
No, right? I don't even think Dave knows that about me. Dave, did you know that about me?
No.
Yes, no. Okay.
I would
You're
have
shocked.
never
Ron's a big spender.
We're totally shocked.
Yeah, you
got
guys
that
are
big.
shocked.
You have that gold, pure gold money clip that you're carrying around, flashing around.
Right, and there are gold chains hanging here. You just can't see them. No, I mean, you got to take care of your family. You can't say, good luck on that flight next Tuesday. I bought the cheapest day. And by the way, I didn't pay for any of your seats. Come on, pal.
I know. Yeah, I do actually kind of miss the old days where you just hopped on the plane, but maybe it's because we were so used to it.
I guess.
You know, I don't. You can get used to something.
Yeah.
Anyways, people took the airline's side. Let us know. Is that are you airline or dad? What side are you on?
Okay, are you on the dad or are you on the airline? And if I've made my point clear here, but if you take the other side, we would love to hear about that
Absolutely.
too. All right. So 602-262-0428, we'll play your comments from yesterday. In the meantime, Celeste, we got a great one. We've been waiting for you to return because you remember on Monday we were talking about the world's greatest used book sale, the VNSA.
Yes.
And so remember we were asking for give us your book reviews, give us some suggestions.
Favorite
we're all
reads.
looking for new books, that kind of a thing. Are you ready for today's viewer voicemail, Celeste?
Let's go, buddy.
Here we go. Ready? This is going to be right here.
Good day to you, broadcasting people. Just a follow-up. You were talking about books the other day, and just a personal note to make to yourself. I've read Under the Banner of Heaven, The Kite Runner, and Catcher in the Rye has been on my bookshelf since high school. I'm going to get to that one day. But the book that changed my life is called Dewey the Library Cat. It's a story about a kitten that was dropped off in a book drop in an Iowa library on a freezing night, and how he ended up changing the lives of hundreds of people. He was their mascot at the library. And it's a 200-page love letter to anyone who's ever had a baby with fur. And by the way, you played my voice message that I recorded walking through Albertsons on the very first day. I was lying in bed feeling kind of down, and I hear my voice on the TV, and I'm like, oh, my God, I'm famous now. So I have a T-shirt made. It says Fox 10 Talks, and then it says, yes, it's me. I'm kind of a big deal. Keep your distance. So I got that going for me. And honestly, keep an eye on that Corey fella. He seems sketchy at best. For what I wouldn't give to push a kid in the pool on live TV. God bless y'all. Have a good day.
Oh, what a great story.
Okay,
First of all, what a great book.
Yeah. Do we know his first name, Dave? No, we don't know it.
We don't.
Okay.
Well,
From now on, when you call in, do this. Say something like, I'm Dave from... Well, Dave, what town do you live in again? Yeah, you.
Big D. Scottsdale.
Okay. So from now on,
So
if
we've
you were
got
Big
two
D,
high-dollar guys on this show.
Hi, I'm Dave from Scottsdale. Or whatever.
And I wear
I'm
big
Joan
chains.
from Springerville. So start with that.
Yes.
Right?
And then we want to hear what you have to say. We loved that story. And you know what? We hope that we lifted your day and your spirits that day because, Ron, we love you guys.
Yeah, we do.
Great. We love
it's
to
so great.
share the morning with you.
This is one of the highlights of our day. And I'll just tell you, we have decided as a TV operation that this show is starting in about 2 more weeks, is going to be on Fox 10 TV.
Yes.
So if you're watching the morning news on Channel 10 on Fox 10, you don't even have to change the dial. We're just going to keep rolling with 2 hours of information and
conversation. But it would be cool if you went to YouTube and then you could chat with us on YouTube
Of course.
while you're watching
Really,
on
this is a
television.
YouTube show.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is a YouTube show. And we love that interaction with so many of you. And the viewer voicemail, Ron, that is...
Yeah.
That's a shot out of the ballpark. Like that, it's just so fun. We love hearing from you guys.
Okay, so you can do this. Let me just pop this up one more time here. Here's the number, 602-262-0428. We suggest topics, but you don't have to go down that road.
No.
I mean, we're talking today about the dad on Southwest Airlines, and if you have any comments on that, or maybe the changes at Southwest, or if you got a favorite airline that has nothing to do with Southwest.
Yeah, and what do you love about it?
All
right?
of that, right?
You know, what do you love about what you love about traveling with your family, what you don't love about traveling with your family.
Or if you make your own T-shirt that says, I love Fox 10 Talks.
I love
and
that.
you start wearing it in the grocery store, tell us all about that.
We need to
too.
see a photo of that. You can send it to us at fox10talks@fox.com.
Yes.
Ron, we have to see that shirt you made.
Yeah. And he's so entertaining. I hope he just keeps calling in
we
on
love
a
it.
regular basis.
You
that's for
guys,
sure.
we love this community. We love all of you, and we always look forward to hearing from you. So thank you for spending part of your day with us here on Fox 10 Talks. It's going to be a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Great hour.
Hi. Welcome in. Welcome
Wednesday
back.
morning. Yeah, we're going to keep things rolling.
We're talking about the big story, Nancy Guthrie, and we wanted to bring in our very own Fox 10 investigative journalist, Justin Lum. Good morning to you.
Good morning,
You had
guys.
a really fascinating one-on-one with Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos yesterday. Let's break that down.
Yeah, I think the last time he spoke publicly to everyone was the press conference on the 5th. So it's been a little more than a week, and here we are now on day 18. Am I correct? In the search for Nancy Guthrie. So this, obviously, everybody wants answers. I think the big takeaway was DNA evidence. As you guys know, no hit in the CODIS system with that glove found 2 miles away.
Real quick, because you mentioned that he hasn't really been granting a lot of interviews. He hasn't been done anything publicly in now a week and a half or so.
Yeah. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks since that press conference.
So I wanted to ask you what kind of hoops you had to jump through to get that one-on-one with the sheriff.
You know, surprisingly, this was easy.
Okay.
PIOs, as you know, kind of handle the bridge, and just like, you know, we have this availability. Some people have one-on-ones set with him. You're part of that list, on that wait list, and you know, you just jump at it and then show up and
so
hope
you
for the
had
best.
to reach out.
Send
an email saying, "Hey, we'd like to request an email or interview."
And when I went on Monday to go out and cover the case, I reached out to him directly. Just, you know, guessed his email and he answered, and that was good. What he does say, he tries to be accessible for his local reporters in the Tucson market. Like, apparently for his history there, he just gives out his cell phone number, so he's easy to get a hold of locally. Obviously, with a case like this of this magnitude, it's harder to get in touch with him, but he's been in touch with correspondents as well, so he's trying to be reached. It's just the information that hasn't really made a lot of sense over the past couple of weeks that you're trying to nail down and confirm and clarify. And another development this week is that the family's been cleared of being called suspects, right? So it's like every day there's like one little thing, but important. And that's sort of that slow trickle that we've been getting. You guys have seen.
Well, let's go back and talk about this CODIS, excuse me, system, and what that was all about, what the hope was there, and has that hope been dashed?
Yeah, it looks like a setback there, but they are shifting their optimism to the DNA evidence found in Nancy's home. I think a lot of people, you know, after knowing that the glove was found 2 miles away, first of all, is it even the same glove that you see on surveillance video on that doorbell camera? They only said that the appearance was close. I think the CODIS system, if people don't know, that's the FBI's national database to find a match for someone who's a convicted felon. So if this DNA was that of someone who has committed a serious violent crime in the past, then you would then try to track them down and see, hey, where were you on February 1st, and are you the person on surveillance video? So now the shift is onto the DNA evidence. And there was a mixture of DNA in the home too. That was a takeaway, the mixture of DNA and then how the testing is done there. This could take weeks, months, but it was also important to confirm that investigative genetic genealogy will be done, familial aspects, and trying to find someone related to the suspect.
And that works out if their relative was in in the database, maybe they committed a crime, they would be able to compare it that way.
That would still be in the CODIS route, but you take this DNA sample and go through public databases like GEDmatch, 23andMe, and try to find people there if they were in the system, and then make a tree and track someone down. So still a longer process.
Oh, go ahead. I was going to ask about the clothes, because I was listening to NPR this morning, and they were talking about how they're now kind of pinpointing that maybe that backpack we know was purchased at a Walmart. They said the clothes might possibly also be coming from Walmart. So they were kind of looking at online as well as in-store purchases. Did you get any indication from the sheriff about how that route is going, to see if maybe they can figure out who that is by the clothes?
I think that is a big lead. Besides the surveillance video seeing the suspect, is the backpack, the Ozark Trail backpack. I reached out to the company to just see what they had to say about cooperating with authorities. Walmart has declined to comment, but that backpack is exclusively bought through Walmart, whether online or in store. So now you have authorities going through point of sale surveillance images to see who may have purchased this. But there's so many Walmart stores. Was it bought online? Was it bought through debit card, credit card? Was it cash? Was it stolen? Was it picked up through a Goodwill? I mean, I probably not, unlikely that the backpack was, taken to Goodwill and then picked up. But that is the key. The clothes are not exclusive to Walmart. Now, they believe that they could have been purchased there, but it's not solely to Walmart. So the backpack is key.
We're talking about the surveillance video. I read somewhere today that they may possibly be working with a couple of different agencies to get more video, because we're talking about, we see this person walking up, but was there video when Nancy was dropped off? Were there cameras? Inside, outside? I know they've addressed a lot of those issues, but is there more video that they can try to recover?
There could definitely be more video, and that control would stem back to Google and Nest, because she didn't have the subscription.
Right.
There were other cameras around the home, but we just haven't seen anything yet. So, and it's been some time. You hope that Google could do what they did with the Ring, or with the doorbell camera.
Yeah.
And gather some more.
The other kind of big takeaway that I thought is that he still remains pretty hopeful that they're going to be able to find Nancy alive. Were you kind of shocked that he is remaining? Because you directly asked him that very question, and he said, we are still hoping, and we're hopeful that this is a good outcome.
Yeah, he's been saying, if you can't show me proof of death, I'm going to assume that she's alive, and I believe she's alive. Meanwhile, we know she relies on daily medication for a heart condition. She's 84 years old, limited mobility. Imagine a high-stress situation here, and hope that she's alive. And then the pacemaker aspect, being disconnected from her phone, and then we also learned about the technology that can be used to try to detect that pacemaker through that signal sniffer. But he's trying to remain hopeful, and I don't know what else he could say, being that the family's relying on him, Savannah Guthrie and her siblings. But he really was doubling down as well on saying that they're victims in this case. But I wanted to, press him on that and say, but do you acknowledge that when you do multiple searches at Annie Guthrie's home, and sort of, back and forth there and taking their devices, taking the car, that all these sleuths and the media watching, when that comes out, the optics are the optics. Now you're blaming media in general about sort of dividing you and the FBI as well, and he tried to quell those rumors that there was any beef with the FBI regarding the handling of evidence. So this is just it's a fascinating story. It is tragic what's going on, and I think people have a lot of frustration with how this is handled. So I think that's why the sheriff wanted to come out and speak, and people do take issue with the fact that it wasn't a press conference and it was just certain people.
Well, I mean, if that's how he's comfortable. But thank you for the updates. We appreciate it, and then look forward to more.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, you might have noticed behind us that we just looked like we disappeared, but I wanted to show this downtown camera because you can see those dark, ominous clouds behind us. And then we also have some snow coming down pretty good up in the high country. So meteorologist Krystal Ortiz joining us here in studio to talk about this. You have been busy in the Weather Center.
Indeed, I have been. It's been a busy couple of days, and this is only storm 2 or 3 that we've got this week going on.
So we still got more.
I was impressed by the rain and the clouds here, but throughout the morning as we were watching the cameras up in the Flagstaff area, I was really wowed.
It's so pretty
by how fast it was coming down.
So far we are seeing a pretty good coating of snow out in the high country. It's still snowing right now as we speak. So there's a view from our our Fox Vision view up in Flagstaff.
And those winds, man, they have been brutal up
really
there.
bad. That's really been the component that's probably the worst of it, is how nasty the winds are. So you've got like a biting wind chill in the teens, and then you also have some drops in visibility with any blowing snow, and then of course the winds are strong enough that they're causing a little bit of wind damage as well, on top of the fact that you've got the snow. So this is not a particularly heavy snow, but it is still snowing in Flagstaff, and that will continue, it looks like, at least for a couple more hours before things start to taper off in the Flagstaff area. It's hard to tell just from looking at the camera shot here how much has dropped on the ground so far, but I think it's safe to say at least a couple of inches.
Right now, or is he, what is he on? I can't tell.
Look at the flag. Just look at the flagpole.
Oh, yeah, I do see him snowballing. It's so funny.
Here he comes.
Yeah, there he is.
He's on like a little tractor thing. Okay.
Oh, okay.
He might be wasting his time.
Clearing out the little sidewalk area. Let's see. I think I have a couple other cameras for you guys. This is a shot from East Flagstaff.
Oh, look at that thing bouncing around.
Yeah, so this is Twin Arrows Casino. So usually you'd see the San Francisco peaks in this shot, but it's obscured because of how steadily the snow has been coming down. And then this is a camera shot from right over in Flagstaff at 180 in Columbus. I just want to show that off because actually road conditions aren't bad. They're definitely like icy in areas. There's definitely some snow on some cameras, but it looks like some plows have gone through this area and cleaned up the road already. And it's coming down lightly enough that it's not just absolutely caking everything. So any treatment on the road is probably doing its job as well, which is always nice to see. But Ty, you mentioned the winds. Oh, it's so windy out there. The current wind gusts are at 51 miles per hour in Prescott. Springerville, are you still there?
Yeah.
Wind gusts have been, the city might have blown away at this point.
Blown into New Mexico.
Yeah, the wind gusts have been consistently over 60 miles per hour since early this morning, which that kind of wind speed for that many hours is consistent. I'm certain there's at least some wind damage, like some tree branches down, hopefully not anything big like a power line, but I mean, they already had some wind damage reported in Flagstaff from periodic gusts of over 60, which right now they are at 61 miles per hour. And now the valley winds are picking up. In fact, I could hear them when I was walking over to our studio here. So we're at like 20 to 30 mile per hour gusts from Queen Creek through East Mesa and up to like the Deer Valley Airport reading. And then over in Buckeye Goodyear, also at like 25 to 30 mile per hour gusts. So we're turning windy in the valley. We will keep that for the next several hours till like mid-afternoon. And actually the rain showers are starting to approach the valley as well. So there's the look on Fox Vision of the snow showers that are falling in the high country. Remember, the deeper the purple, the steadier the snow. So it's right on through Flag, right down the 17 along the Mugdown Rim to outside of Payson, where it is rainy in Payson. But notice Pine Strawberry, snow. And then it's lighter in Yavapai County, some rain showers mixing with some snow-topped mountains. And then there's those showers just kind of kissing the north edge of the valley here. 303, it looks like getting some sprinkly stuff. Over Lake Pleasant is getting some rain as well.
Somebody was asking if we potentially might be seeing anything here in the valley.
Specifically Saturday morning.
Saturday.
We'll
Queen Creek.
Well, today, a few spot showers through the next couple hours. So from now, see how the model kind of runs along the north edge? I think a few showers from about now till 3 is possible in the valley. The snow showers will also start to move out of Flagstaff by around 3 o'clock, and then everything moves off to the east and weakens considerably by this evening. So the east part of the state has much less likelihood of like impressive accumulations compared to Flagstaff and the high country that have been getting snow for quite a few hours now. You asked about Saturday.
Someone's asking about Saturday. They have an outdoor event in Queen Creek Saturday morning, and they're hoping for a clear forecast.
So by Saturday, things should be good, nice and clear. The next storm comes Thursday through Friday. More rain, more snow, more gusty winds, but most of it's falling overnight Thursday and into early Friday morning, say like out by 6, 7 a.m., and then off the east edge of the state a little later in the morning. But could be some bigger snow totals again. Still need to finesse the forecast here a little bit. We've been pretty focused on the forecast for today. But I think that Monday morning commute in the high country could be a bit hazardous yet again because of some of the snow on the road. So
you've been busy.
Thank you.
It has been a busy one.
You get a fist bump for the day.
Thank you. I appreciate
Someone called
that.
you the weather master, which I like. Crystal, little philosophy.
I wish right now you could pop like a little hat on my head, like a little wizard hat.
You deserve it.
Crown like a queen. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
All right, much more ahead. You guys stay with us. Oops.
second. Ty brought this up last week. It's tax season. And you wanted to talk about the Arizona tax credits.
Yeah, because it's a pretty unique program here where if you make a donation, you can write that off. So it's basically 1-to-1. So it's doing good for you if you're going to maybe potentially owe here in the state of Arizona. And it's good for all these nonprofits as well.
Okay, so Rachel Cheek is joining us with Cheek Tax Advisors. Cheek Tax Advisors, your CPA. Thank you so much. What are these tax credits and how do they benefit people?
Yeah, so Arizona allows for Arizona residents that if you basically, instead of, if you want to redirect your tax dollars, you can make donations and those go against your liability. So it's up to your liability. So if you make, there's different organizations that you can choose from. And if you make a donation, then it reduces your liability dollar for dollar.
So let's go over how much you can donate. Maybe if you're filing singly and then jointly, how much can you do?
So there's 5 different donations you can do. So you can redirect if you're filing single, you can redirect over $3,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there is the Arizona Military Family Fund, qualified charitable organizations, qualified foster care organizations, public schools, and private schools.
Wow.
So there's a lot of different ones you can do. So let's say you decide to donate to a public school. If you're filing single, you can donate $200, and that goes against your liability. So let's say you owe $3,000, your liability goes down to $2,800.
So liability meaning what you owe the IRS, which unfortunately
Arizona,
which unfortunately a lot of people do, because that's just how taxes are.
And as Arizona residents, we do have low tax rates for the state, so it's a flat tax of 2.5%. But if you have $100,000 of income, you may owe $2,500. So instead of paying the Department of Revenue, you can redirect all of your tax dollars to all these different organizations. So qualified charitable organizations help people who have basic needs. And
there's a ton of those too.
There is, if you go to the Department of Revenue's website, Arizona DOR, and you go to tax credits, qualified charitable, there's 23 pages of organizations.
Oh, wow.
And it's everything from nonprofits that run the gamut.
Yeah.
So
they help. There's so many great organizations out there that help people who are in need. Foster care, there's about 2 pages of organizations, and they help. There's great ones that they help as well. So.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of these now. So it's like health insurance, premium tax credits, public school tax credit. When you click on something like that, there's just a ton of, they have lists of schools that you can donate
There's
to.
a list of public schools. So let's say your child goes to a public school and they're in cheer. You can put $200 or $400 if you're married, and it goes to their organization and their if they're involved in cheer, it'll go directly to the cheer, and it'll help them with their.
Oh, I had another question, and I don't know if this is cheating. So can you do your taxes with a tax professional, and they could be like, oh, it looks like you owe $450 to the state of Arizona. Can you then do your donations after?
Yes.
And then file after you do those?
And then how would that benefit you if you did that?
So you have to, for these Arizona donations, you have until April 15th, which is the tax deadline, to make your donations for the prior year. So we're in 2026. You can still do this for 2025. So if you go to your tax preparer and they say you owe $400 to Arizona, you, instead of paying the Department of Revenue, you can donate to school or one of these organizations, and you basically then do not have to pay anything to the state. You're done. And it's completely, you're allowed to do that through April. The only organization that you cannot do right now for last year is the Military Family Fund, and that does get capped out.
Okay.
So.
All right, another hypothetical. I love a good hypothetical. You work in numbers, so you don't like hypotheticals.
Are you taking notes?
So let's say I come at 0. I don't owe anything to the state of Arizona. Rarely happens, but let's say it happens. But what if I say, okay, I'm going to donate $500 to this organization? Do I get the money back?
So as long as you have liability. So let's say your liability was $2,500 and you paid in $2,500 with your W-2 withholdings. Now you're at 0. But because you had liability, you can donate $500 and then you will get that back. You'll get a refund back.
So it really is a win-win.
The organization is benefiting because they got your $500, but you're going to get it back. So it's essentially free, not free money, because there's no such thing.
It's dollar for dollar. So you're still sending out money, $500, but you're getting it back. So the organizations are the ones that are benefiting from that.
So it really is. There there is really no excuse not to do it because it is.
Yes. If you have
beneficial.
Arizona liability, and in some circumstances,
how would you know if you do?
When you prepare your taxes, if you have taxable income to Arizona based on the tax rates, then once you prepare your return, you'll know if you have liability. If you're not sure, you should probably go to a tax professional to have them determine if you have liability or not.
So it's very similar to what Ty is saying. Do your taxes, see where things are.
Yes, okay. I usually recommend my clients to prepare their taxes, see where they're at. If you owe money, then send it into the different organizations. If you have liability, you could still send it in and then get that money back. And then you can choose who do you want to donate. The qualified charitable organizations are great, public schools, private schools. There's so many great organizations out there.
So you're talking about having a max of like $200 a person for this organization. Do they all vary? Are there different caps for different organizations?
So public schools is $200 for single, $400 for married. Qualified charitable organizations, it's $495 single, married filing separate, or head of household. Married filing joint, it's $986. Right.
You're good at this. I was like, she's
remember my phone number. I don't know how you're doing all this. Wow.
So
okay.
each different type of organization has a different amount. So
Gotcha.
If you go to the Department of Revenue's website, it'll tell you exactly what you can donate.
So what is the final day you can donate in order?
April 15th.
It is April 15th.
Yes. Now, if you do a donation after that, it can qualify for 2026 taxes. So next year at this time, you could do it on a calendar year basis, but you always have that ability to make it until April 15th of the following year.
And then really quick, sorry, do these change year to year?
Yes.
They do.
The amounts change slightly. Public schools are one that stays the same, 200 or 400, but the private schools, qualified charitable and foster care do change. So.
Okay. So I did all this last weekend, getting all my taxes in order. So what do you need as a tax preparer? Because there's a special code for all of those as well, right?
So if you make a donation to a public school, there's going to be an 8-digit code that you have to put into the return. We have to know what school you donated to, and the codes are all available online. So as long as you tell your tax professional, here is where I donated, we can find those codes and the amount. There's different forms for each different type of donation that you make.
And a lot of these companies, or organizations, I should say, not companies, will send you like an email that basically you can print off and give it to your tax professional.
You want to have that receipt and keep those records for 7 years. But
7 years.
7 years. That's a lot of paperwork.
That's a lot of paperwork.
We don't like clutter.
Or you can, scan it and keep it in the cloud somewhere. But
that's a good idea.
Provide that receipt to your tax professional, and then they can include that with your return.
Cynthia is asking, and I think this is an excellent question, Cynthia Moore. So can I donate what I owe to the state to the church instead?
No, there's specific, and unfortunately with any type of religious organizations, those don't count. But if you're not sure, if you go to, like I said, the Department of Revenue's website, there's a lot, because there's a lot of the qualified charitable, like I said, 23 pages of organizations.
It's a lot.
So there may be an organization you've already donated to, and if it qualifies, it's
$1. Or then maybe then in turn donates and helps your church or something like that. So there are ways around it.
Yeah.
How do people get a hold of you?
You can reach me. My website is cheektaxadvisors.com, and my email is rachel@cheektax.com.
We will CHEEK.
Like a cheek.
Like a cheek.
Easy.
We will put all that up on our site. Thank you. That was really good advice. I appreciate it. Any
that was interesting.
Questions?
No, I mean,
Did you file already?
Not yet.
Okay,
no.
you know where to find me.
Yes,
now.
ma'am.
Did
Yes.
I file yet?
I know.
You too.
Thank you so much. A wealth of information.
One more peek outside while we're transitioning here. A beautiful shot at the airport. Those cloudy skies moving in. Crystal mentioned maybe the winds, obviously through about 3 o'clock this afternoon.
And some breezy conditions too.
And then some snow in the high country. Gosh, it's been so pretty up north, hasn't it?
It really has, yeah. But this is kind of a cool shot. I love watching planes, so I could watch this all day too. Just watching.
I like watching that too because I dream about where I'm going to go next.
I know, right?
Hey, did you know that you sent me flowers? Thank you.
Surprise. Maddi, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Hi, good morning.
Tell us what you're doing.
Yeah, so I'm here with Downtown Chandler, and we have our wedding walk this weekend on Sunday.
Okay, wait, what's a wedding walk?
Yeah, so we are going to showcase all of our downtown venues. We have 4 downtown venues, so good for weddings or even birthday parties, graduations, any kind of special
parties,
event. Bachelorette parties.
Wedding showers.
Yeah, anything you need. You can come to Downtown Chandler and plan your whole wedding in one weekend.
That is, I mean, I didn't do a wedding, but I can only imagine the process could be very overwhelming. But this is like a great way to just kind of take that out.
Almost like a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
So one-stop shop. Exactly.
We like that.
Stops.
Yeah.
Yeah, or 4 stops, and each stop will have multiple different vendors that are setting up a table, and they're showcasing all of the different things. So you can go and talk to a hairstylist or a makeup artist, event planners, rentals, anything you really need, catering.
So this is self-guided, which is nice because you can really take your time. You're not being rushed. What are the 4 different venues you're showcasing?
Yeah, it's going to start at the Crown Plaza, Phoenix Chandler Golf Resort. We'll get the registration there. People get a wristband so that they know they're part of the event. And that way they can get samples and complimentary items from all of the vendors and the venues. So they'll start with the tour there for the Crown Plaza. It is self-guided, but usually people will then go to the Hidden House, which is the next stop. And they are a restaurant as well as a small wedding venue. So usually around like 50 people they can host there. So it's really nice. You can see kind of the small wedding venue options and then also the large resorts. From there, they can go over to the Hilton Garden Inn, and they have a new ballroom that is actually just opening today.
Wow. Oh, wow. That's cool. Perfect timing.
It is perfect timing for us. We're like, perfect. We'll put some vendors in there and you can show it off. They also have a new bridal suite that they just redid, and it looks really beautiful in there. I'm like, wish my bathroom could look like this. Yeah, exactly. And then our last stop will be Soho 63. So that's where all of the vendors' prizes will be. And we'll do a big raffle at the end of the event right at 12:30.
I'm very impressed to see Chandler doing an event like this, and the fact that you guys, the city has grown so much that people are now, it's not just like, let's go downtown to the big hotels.
Right.
We're going to Chandler and looking at all the different ideas and different possibilities.
Yeah, it's really nice too. It's a very convenient location to have your wedding, since you could essentially park on Friday night, go to your rehearsal dinner at one of the restaurants, go to the venue on Saturday, and then go out Saturday night and celebrate.
Because there's a lot going on in Chandler.
It's like a one-stop shop.
Exactly. And then Sunday morning, we even have some brunch places downtown, so you can go to do your day after brunch, and then you can go back to your car and head on home.
We've got about a minute left. I see a QR code that says tickets. Do people need to do this ahead of time, or can they just show up?
You can do it ahead of time, but you can also purchase tickets the day of. It would just be at the Crown Plaza, or you can go to the downtownchandler.org website. And we're also selling tickets on Eventbrite.
Yeah, and it looks like they're really reasonable too.
Yep, it's $10 for a ticket, and you get 2 raffle tickets for each purchase, and that can be entered into the prizes at the end of the event.
Have you guys done this before?
We have. I think this is our 3rd year that we've done this event. Yeah, and they all kind of blend together. But yeah, so we've done it a few years. We've changed dates a little bit to see what works, and
good for
wedding season. So this weekend
it's perfect just to kind of support those local businesses right in your own backyard
and
sometimes
take some
too.
Of the stress out.
Take the stress
a lot
out
of the stress out too.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in. We'll put all that info up on the website. You guys make sure you can get a hold of all of our guests, and Des and Ron are on their way in. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
And at 11:30, it's Ron and Des on a very cloudy day in the Valley of the Sun. Des, I don't know about you, but I love a cloudy day like this.
Oh, I love it. I was a little cold today, and I was like, yes.
Good. Well, that's why we
So
wanted to warm the
excited.
studio. Our podcasting studio is like 88 degrees.
Yeah, a little too hot in here.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so anyway, there's a view for you from downtown Phoenix, and look at that view. Okay, so that's Seattle. And I actually would not be shocked if that camera is on what they call the Columbia Center, which is about an 80-story, almost 80-story building in downtown Seattle. Just to the right of the freeway, there's the UW where I hung out for years.
Doesn't it always rain in Seattle?
It does rain a lot. Okay, so 11:31, and here we are. It's Ron and Des. There is a story unfolding in California where, literally hours and even minutes can make the difference between life and death. This avalanche sounds like, it's going to be a situation where I know they're desperate, trying to reach people, and you got to hold on to hope, but boy.
And this was a very large, fairly large group of people. They know right now that 6 of them potentially able to survive this, but listening to what these rescue crews are up against, it's a tough job.
Let's go to Claudia right now. Our Claudia Cowan, you've seen her reporting this morning on the Fox News Channel. She joins us now. Claudia, what is the latest?
Well, Ron and Desiree, good afternoon to you. So we have 9 backcountry skiers that have been missing for nearly 24 hours in some of the worst blizzard conditions that you can even imagine. But last night, 6 other skiers were rescued after using their emergency beacons to send text messages and call for help. But getting to these skiers was not easy. The Nevada County Sheriff posting on Facebook at about 10:40 p.m. last night, quote, "Due to extreme weather conditions, it took several hours for rescue personnel to safely reach the skiers and transport them to safety. Amazingly, only 2 of those survivors needed to be hospitalized." The sheriff's office says this massive avalanche happened at around 11:30 yesterday morning local time when an avalanche warning was in effect in the area. 4 guides with 11 clients were returning from a 3-day winter camping trip at a lodge in Castle Peak. That's a popular backcountry ski area near the city of Truckee in Lake Tahoe. It's unclear whether all 15 were in one group or why the 9 missing were not able to contact officials. A press conference coming up shortly should give us some answers, but the outlook appears grim. Avalanche experts say within a half hour, the snow sets like concrete, cutting off oxygen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we actually had a chance to listen to some of that a little bit earlier, Claudia, when they were talking specifically about it. And I guess the real bottom line is hopefully we hear a lot more when this news conference unfolds pretty quickly.
That's right. And, we have dozens of first responders looking for this missing group of people. Again, they are all believed to have had these avalanche beacons and emergency transponders. So a big question will be why were 6 able to use their responders to call for help and these other 9 were not able to. We just don't know. We don't know if they all left as a group or if they left at different times. Again, there were several guides involved. But these first responders are using skis and snowcats and specially trained dogs and all kinds of digital equipment to try to zero in on these emergency beacons. But of course, time is of the essence here because the statistics show that after an hour, survival in an avalanche is not likely. And so these 6 survivors certainly giving the families of the other 9 a lot of hope. But if they survived, it would certainly be a miracle. And that is exactly what 9 families are praying for now.
And Claudia, it might be too early for this question even, but those 4 guides, 11 clients returning from that 3-day trip, and there were warnings that the dangers of an avalanche could be possible. Why did they not choose to potentially stay in some of those cabins to wait this out?
Well, that's obviously a big question that is on everyone's mind. There are reports, again, nothing confirmed, that perhaps these people were running out of supplies after their 3 days in these huts there in the Donner Tahoe back country, and that they were possibly taking advantage of a small break in the storm to hike out to the trailhead and return to their cars. So we will find out exactly what was going on. No doubt those 6 survivors are going to be providing a lot of information to the sheriff's office and to these other first responders as they dig through the snow looking for these other avalanche victims. But keep in mind, if they survived the avalanche, those 9 skiers would then have had to survive fierce gusty winds, snow, and temperatures overnight that dip down below 0. Really, it's just so heartbreaking to think about that.
Yeah, it is. And you can imagine the stories, the life and death type stories that are going to be shared. We're so grateful that there are at least some survivors, A, that they did survive, and B, they're going to be able to shed a lot of information on this. All right, Claudia, thank you. We know we want to give you a break, get you a chance to catch that news conference. Excellent report, and thank you.
Thank you, Claudia.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I don't know. As a kid, I remember up in the Cascade Mountains. So my hometown is on the backside of the Cascades. And one Sunday, going to church, and I was just a kid, but I heard all the parents talking about how there had been an avalanche on what was called Stevens Pass, and a number of people were killed. A lot of times, these avalanches happen with almost no warning. Mm-hmm. And your ability to try to survive something like that.
I mean, just think of trying to survive, like she mentioned, those below temperature,
right.
0 below temperatures, that alone,
sure.
Dealing with the cold. But wow, that concrete turning into, or the snow turning into concrete. There you go. There's your analogy of, just how powerful that is.
Well, for us, the snow is also a big story here, but it's much more...
We're excited about it.
We're happy about it.
Yeah.
All of that.
We want it.
So, when we made the decision to go ahead and send Ashley up to Flag, Des, you and I both thought, ready, here she is. Oh, is she in the vehicle now? What's happening?
She might be in the car.
Okay.
Maybe we should make sure that she's ready to go. Give her that heads up there.
Yeah. All right, Ash.
They're trying to get situated for us.
This is good, right? See?
Oh, there she goes.
They're doing exactly what I would do, which is stay in the car with the heater on.
Well, he was keeping that camera warm.
Yeah. All right, Ashley. Can you hear us? What's going on? Is it still actively snowing in Flag? Yes?
It is actively snowing. It is an active situation with the snow. We got the winds that's basically blowing me away. We're trying to keep ourselves warm, that's right, because it is cold out here. The wind chill, I can't even imagine, definitely much colder than it's supposed to feel like with that wind factor. And travel conditions are pretty treacherous right now as you join us. I mean, we have a pretty heavy-duty car, and we've been just driving around to get a feel of what these roads are like, and we got all-wheel drive, and it's still pretty hazardous. We've been slipping and sliding, and we've had some pretty measurable snow. You can see right here on the ground just to pick it up. The snow, it's still on those roadways. Definitely be prepared for winter driving conditions. Oh, look at that. I'm gonna make a snowball out of this.
Oh, that's good packing snow, yeah.
That is, yeah, so pretty compact right there. But definitely be prepared for those windy conditions, especially when you're out on those highways as well. I know that we've been seeing reports on some closures of the schools with some of the roadways. We've seen a lot of snowplows out here, though, trying to clear those roadways for people that do have to be out here. But if you really have to drive out here, first of all, I wouldn't recommend it. It is dicey out here. Just be prepared to winterize your vehicle. We've talked about safety and emergency kits. It's been a while since we've had a good amount of snow like this, and you just want to be prepared for those conditions, whether it be winterizing your car or wearing the proper gear to be out and about in these conditions, because again, the winds are just whipping. It feels really cold out here. You can see it's pretty quiet out here. People aren't out and about as much, especially with the closures of the schools for today. It's definitely one of those days where folks, if you can be inside, just do it, because again, it is cold, it is windy, and it is going to continue to be like this this pretty much for the rest of today. We're still under this winter storm warning, at least until 8 o'clock. That was the last time I checked. But other than that, travel conditions, again, pretty dicey out there. Woo! Yeah, those winds, I can even feel it with the snow just whipping in my face. So bundle up, folks. It's no joke out here.
Yeah, well, according to Google, you're a meteorologist, but Google is saying right now, Ashley, it's about 29 degrees in Flagstaff. Is it feeling like that, or is it feeling colder?
It feels about 13 degrees. It feels significantly.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, no joke, especially with the wind factor. I mean, we had that cold front just dropping down the temperatures, and so with that, we have the snow sticking on those roadways as well, especially those roads that haven't been treated. It's a little bit of a mess right now.
Ash, I just have to mention that Linda in Thatcher, one of our most loyal viewers, is worried about it. She's like, Ashley, where are your gloves?
You know, right, where are my gloves? I wanted to pick up the snow because last time I wasn't able to do that. But I've said this once and I've said this before. I am no stranger to reporting on the snow. In fact, I'm actually pretty excited about this as well. But yeah, if you are going to be out in these conditions, best to put on those gloves as well. I'm feeling pretty okay, but I know I'm not going to feel okay if I stand 5 more minutes in these conditions.
Yeah.
And it really does seem a little like a ghost town. Sounds like most people are heeding the advice and staying off the roads.
Yeah, definitely best to do that, especially with how cold it is as well. I mean, you don't want to be out here. We have actually been seeing people out and about. We actually saw a guy running with his husky, believe it or not, with his Nike running shoes.
Wow.
Probably that was pretty ambitious. That was pretty bold out there. But for the most part, it's been pretty quiet. We were in downtown earlier for the live shows for AZ AM. And yeah, it was pretty much of a ghost town. And I also said earlier just how it feels and what it's like right now. Just imagine just shaking a snow globe back and forth. That's how it feels and looks like when it comes to the winds. Yeah, it's pretty erratic, and I can't even imagine what it's like, especially on those highways as well. I know it's a bit of a mess out there. You can just feel it with your car. And like I said, we're driving. I always like to joke a monster truck, and we can still feel those winds whipping back and forth over 25 mile per hour wind gust. If I could definitely indicate that. So it's certainly a lot of different weather factors to take into account if you are going to be out and about here in the Flagstaff area. And if you have to, for any reason, make your way up here, you got to be prepared, folks. These are the kind of conditions where people get into a lot of accidents. But there's a lot you can do to prepare yourselves for these.
All right, Ashley, thank you.
What a trooper you are,
Yeah,
Ash.
stay warm.
Okay, see ya. Thanks. Okay, so we went to break right at the very last second, and we're going to give you guys a second to guess.
Well, they know what to do.
Yeah.
They're like, we got the format.
Yeah, we do.
We know this is the mystery cam. Little Philosophy is concerned if Ashley fell. I don't think she fell, but she slipped a little bit. So, I mean, she was saying, you know, those conditions up there, they're real.
Okay.
So yeah, she's good. She's safe.
All right. So let's see. Where is this pretty little mountain town? That is the question we want you guys to help us solve. It's
little Philosophy.
Yeah.
Thinking it's Oklahoma.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see what else we got coming up here. So I see those mountains. I have like multiple places.
No snow.
I have two states.
There you go.
I have two states I want to guess, and they're so far apart from each other that I don't know which way to go. Do you have any guesses, Des?
I don't.
Outlaw says Chattanooga, which is such a beautiful town in Tennessee. But there would be there's a great big river flowing through Chattanooga, right? The Tennessee River, I think. I don't know. Maybe it's there and we just can't see it.
Miguel thinks it's Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, most of Arizona is not dealing with any snow. Doesn't look like it's rained. I like Tennessee.
Okay.
Somewhere in Tennessee.
That's a good choice. I'm either going to go like a Virginia or a North Carolina. And so I guess I'll go Virginia. How about that?
Yeah.
Tennessee
Linda,
and a Virginia.
Linda coming in with West Virginia. We don't have the answer. Does someone want to shout it out back there? What's our mystery cam today?
Do you see a note back there, Abby, for Bella or anybody? Oh, here it comes. Stand by. Here,
just shout it out. That'll be more fun. What is it?
There we go. Here comes the answer.
Bella Bomb. It is.
Oh, it is.
Lenore, North Carolina.
So I guess we were both very close.
Okay.
Right?
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. So Virginia and Tennessee.
That makes
all
sense.
Right there. It's so beautiful, the Blue Ridge Mountains. Holy cow.
There you go.
Okay, 11:47, and just join the conversation. Anything that's on your mind, but if you want to talk movies and you want to talk Oscars, we have got the guy ready to go here with Variety.
Yeah, let's get right to him. 11:47 right now. We have got Clayton Davis joining us to talk everything Oscars.
Hey, Clayton.
Good morning, Clayton.
Yeah. Now, do you have your own personal favorites if you had to make a prediction? Clayton, can you hear us right now? Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Checking in.
I can hear the anchors, though.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we're nearly there. We'll give you guys like one more minute. But I will say...
But you might recognize Clayton, you guys. If you were with us a couple weeks ago, we were talking Oscars and some movie picks with him prior. Or was it Oscar? No, what were we chatting?
I think it was that.
Was it?
But I mean, now's the time, right? I mean, the Oscars, I believe, are this Sunday.
Is it? Wow, Sunday.
And so it's time to, hone in on those picks. I know there's been a lot of talk about Sinners.
Yeah.
And, I was kind of checking the odds, Des, and it seems like Sinners is one of the favorites. And then the other one is this one, One Battle After Another. These seem like the big two. You know how they say they have the Power 2 in college football? These are like the Power 2 movies, but we'll go
in those two movies alone, they have more than 20 nods combined.
Wow.
Sinners is leading right now. I think that's why everyone continues talking about that movie. It's got 16 nominations.
Why do they always cut out when the romantic scenes is starting to get really romantic? Have you ever figured that out, Des?
I don't know. I want you to watch the whole movie.
All right. Well, here's Clayton, and I think maybe he can hear us now. Clayton, give us a thumbs up if you can hear Ron and Des. Still not quite there. All right, we're having a couple of technical issues. I'm so bummed because, this is our check-in day with Clayton and with Variety to talk about those movies.
Yeah, so up for best... Have you seen Sinners, Ron?
I have not seen a one of these movies. Usually once football season ends, I start going to the movies, and I've just been so busy coaching my own flag football team.
Oh, yeah.
That I haven't had time to go hit the theaters. I'm sure it's the same for you, right?
Well, we like going with the kids. But that's the problem.
Right.
We generally almost always have the kids. So we're always watching kids movies, which, I mean, some of them are great. So the last one we saw in theaters was Zootopia 2.
Oh,
and that was amazing.
okay.
It really was.
Right.
And I think Goat is out right now in theaters. Another a kids.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that one's next on our list. So that's the hard part, is having the littles. We can't really go watch movies like this, Sinners, with them.
Yeah, for sure.
But we did sneak away one night, and I did see Sinners. That was like the last adult movie that I got to see with my husband. It was, I mean, it was good. When I heard that it was about vampires, I was a little hesitant because vampires aren't real. Right? So it seemed a little.
Heard.
Well, I don't believe they're real. So I don't know. It seemed like I was wondering if it was going to be kind of cheesy because I don't know, the whole vampire thing I'm just like not that into generally.
Right.
But it was done really well. So I was surprised that the storyline was actually good. And then this one's on my list. We just haven't got a chance to see it yet.
Well, I guess there's a lot of talk about Leonardo DiCaprio maybe winning for Best Actor. Apparently people love him in this one. And then I'm hearing a lot of talk about Jessie Buckley in Hamnet. Okay. So this is the period piece, right, that goes back a couple of centuries. And, when it first came out, it got a lot of buzz. But whether or not it, can win Best Picture or whether she can come through as Best Actress, that's something we're going to try. Or at least we will find out when Sunday rolls around.
Well, and let's go back to the category for Best Actor.
Okay.
So you've got Leonardo DiCaprio in there, right? One battle after another. And think about how long Leonardo has been in Hollywood, right? And all of the accolades that he has. Just amazing. But guess who's in that category with him?
Okay, who?
Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, yes, right?
Right?
Okay.
Like, definitely not where Leonardo is in his career. Certainly not yet. Right. And he's got a nomination in that category for his performance in Marty Supreme.
So now that you talk about it, I'm going back in time to Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic, and that was almost 30 years ago.
That's hard to believe, right? What an amazing movie that is.
All right, so we got Clayton all set, ready to go.
Okay.
He's
I think
on
we
the
got
phone.
him on the phone. Yeah, because we still couldn't figure out those issues.
All right, did you hear our babbling the last 5 minutes there, Clayton, while we're getting ready to chat with you?
I heard bits and pieces, but I'm sure I can catch up. Thanks for having me, guys.
Okay,
yeah, of course. Thanks for hanging with us.
All right, let's talk about it. Best Picture, if you had to pick today, I know we're still a few days away from the Academy Awards, but where do you come down?
Well, we are 7 days from the start of final voting, so this is all preliminary, but I still believe that 16 nominations, breaking the all-time record, has to mean something. You don't do that for no reason whatsoever. I am banking on Sinners making some history, winning Best Picture. Vampire drama that opened last April, defying the odds. It's hard to believe you would not have had me pick this a month and a half ago, let alone a year ago, but I think it's going to pull it off, just edging out one battle after another.
So when you watched this film for the first time, how did it impact you? When you went home and told other people about it, what did you say?
I mean, I love the film. I think it is a hard film to define for a lot of people. If you're anyone that's like my wife hates horror movies, and it's the easiest way to describe the movie to people, but it's not a horror movie. It's more than that. And, it took convincing for her to watch it, but then once she got in, she was on board and she fell in love with it the same way I did. Listen, this is not a conventional Oscar player. I've been saying for a few weeks now, this is not your mom and dad's Academy anymore. This is definitely a new Academy that's open to different genres, different types of filmmaking. And what Ryan Coogler achieved here is nothing short of extraordinary. And I just think it really is an achievement. And I think it's really broken some records with nominations. Ryan Coogler is the 7th black man ever to be nominated for directing.
Amazing.
Maybe lucky number 7 is going to be the moment where he brings it home.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, and his movies are just wow. I mean, what a talent he is. I mean, you've got Wakanda, Black Panther, Creed, all of those amazing films coming from him. So do you think, with that said, if Sinners takes Best Picture, are you thinking Michael B. Jordan has a good chance at walking away with Best Actor?
That's a little tougher because he's going. I mean, the Best Actor is probably one of the toughest categories to call, and I think a lot of people have been easy to say this is Timothée Chalamet all the way, and listen, it is his to lose, definitely. However, you know, a genre performance, those are tougher to win acting categories. Even if you love Sinners, a lot of it becomes, you know, who has paid their dues in the business. You know, Timothée Chalamet would be the second youngest winner ever, so if he doesn't quite fit for a winner, maybe you give it to Leonardo DiCaprio. You give it to him for a second Oscar for a movie that they clearly loved, landed 13 nominations. I have had my money on Ethan Hawke winning for Blue Moon, the biopic performance. He plays Lorenz Hart. He's a guy who's been nominated 4 other times. He's never won and has worked with countless people in this business. So I kind of think that Ethan Hawke really is the dark horse waiting in the wings. We have the BAFTA Awards this weekend. This is one of the most telling ceremonies because there's actual Oscar voter overlap. You know, what Timmy has won so far with Critics' Choice and Golden Globes, there aren't Oscar voters among those groups. So now we get to see what the industry really thinks about certain performances.
Gosh, we only have...
he's in the hunt, but he's going to be tough.
We only got 1 minute left. What about Best Actress? What are you thinking there?
That's easy. Listen, I saw Hamnet back in the Telluride Film Festival Labor Day weekend, and it was one of those moments where I said, okay, it's over. Like, we figured it out. That's, like, I don't know who beats her. Jessie Buckley, what she achieves in that movie is nothing short of remarkable. It's an all-timer type of performance. She's won everything. I think it's hers all the way.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Good. Excellent. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is all, I'm jotting all this down, and we can meet up, you know, the week afterwards. But you're pretty convincing. I got to say that, Clayton. You're definitely pretty
Yeah, I can't wait to walk through this with you after we see the winners from that night.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Clayton, thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Clayton. Glad we finally got him on the phone there.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, technology.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with the Best Actor category, because if he's talking about an actor paying their dues, I would take Timothée Chalamet and Michael B. Jordan out of there then.
Okay.
I mean, like you said, Leonardo, Ethan Hawke.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
All right. Well, that's it. We already wrapped up. Thanks for hanging out with us on YouTube. Let's do it again tomorrow, Des.
Let's do it. We'll see you tomorrow.